It's the 2nd of May 2017. I have no idea where we are at the moment, and I have no idea what the time is because my mobile battery is flat. I'm guessing it's about 5 o'clock in the morning, and we've still got about 4 hours to Odessa. And this is what the train looks like. And my bed is number 11. We're about 2.5 hours out from Odessa. I don't know what this little town is called. I think I actually got some sleep, which surprises me, because the train is quite bumpy and shaky, and the person next to me was snoring. But I think I got a little bit of sleep. And the only magazine they've given me is in Ukrainian. We're about 30 kilometers outside of Odessa. We should be there in about 20 minutes or so. I've made it to my hotel, and I can check in early, which is really good, because I got a tour guide pick me up in an hour. Ooh, let's turn the light on, shall we? Wow, that's a nice room. That's a lovely room. And you get a nice view outside of the painted wall. Let's check the bathroom out. This could be the nicest room yet. Very nice. Well, I've got 3 nights here. I'm gonna shower, get changed, and get ready to be picked up at 11.
And I told you that before the revolution in Odessa were 68 synagogues. One of them was that one, that was the only in the Russian Empire, the so-called Reformates. You know that in Judaism they have the trend of Reformation. We shall not go inside, that is very long story, but that were the most rich bankers from Europe were brought from Rome. And the first botanical garden in Russia was opened in that city, in the desert, by Germans. But today that is our regional philharmonic hall, and we shall see something. Yeah, at night that gate are opened, and you can enter to that beautiful hall by that staircase. And I told you that everything that you see here, metal, marble, wood, everything was brought from Europe by small ships. And if you were in Venice or in Petersburg, you see that rostral columns, because Petersburg was built by Italians also. And the only city that it is worth to see in Russia, that is Moscow is horrible. You have to see Petersburg, of course. It was built by Italians, by the Venetians, and these rostral columns, they were, Nazi was proposed to make only one project, that, and got a lot of money. But he didn't go away. He stayed here for his life. And when he worked in that city for 50 years old, Odysseus made the monument to him, that buste. And you see there the columns, marble columns, and there are the signs on the columns. That are the initials, the names of simple workers who made that beautiful stock market.
These are Venetian mirrors.
Yes, you see, that is a unique. I wonder how it wasn't ruined. because we have a very long period of Soviet power, and the lot was ruined. The sign of the French corona. Why? That is a sign of Mason also.
Mason.
Yes, the same.
The scouts use that symbol though.
Yes, yes.
Yes, that's interesting.
The ceilings were painted here in old times. And that tombs you can see only in Odessa. They were also brought from Europe. But every day they are disappearing, you know, there you can't see it. And they were there also. Why? Because they had no building material here. No wood, no stone. And they began digging. And they put that stone from beneath.
Yeah.
That is limestone. The most beautiful building material in the world. Englishmen call it sandstone. You see, it is living, it is breathing. And from such stone, from such limestone, Jerusalem is built, and Rome, and Odessa. And the city was built so rapidly because that was the European project. So many stone was taken from beneath that we are standing on the empty. We have catacombs there, handmade corridors, 2,500 kilometers.
Oh wow.
And Rome catacombs, 3,500 kilometers. Parisian.
A French Baroque style building you're looking at now.
When Spanish people come here, they always tell me, that is Gaudi. Very, very alike with Barcelona. But that is not Barcelona, but you see that is Odessa. And you see there in those niches where that Mason signs were put out. And in that niche were statues, Italian statues. And inside it remains how it was before the revolution. Nothing was ruined inside because they opened here the Philharmonic Hall. And nothing was ruined. That is good. Pushkin, that is so dear to us, he was born in Odessa. He wrote a lot here. Eugene Onegin, by the way. Very, very alike, but not the size. Because Pushkin was 1 meter, 57 centimeters. Very, very small.
It's like 6 foot.
Yes.
More than 6, no, like 7 foot.
You
Yeah.
know that his grandfather was from Ethiopia?
Yeah.
No?
Really?
Yes.
Ethiopia.
Yes, that is why he had dark curling hair. He had dark skin, dark hands, and very good teeth, and such legs. And he wasn't handsome. His friends called him small monkey.
Oh, that's
But you
another
know
one.
that all the ladies of Russia wear legs. Why? Because I consider that the main thing, the gentleman, that is the head. And he was a genius.
I got a shot. It's alright. So who's this gentleman?
Yes, because Esperanto wasn't founded here, but after World War II, in that yard lived a soldier who came from the front. He was an architect. He was without money. I don't know how, but here in Odessa appeared Polish delegation. And you know that Esperanto was founded in Poland. And they gave him some money to make the buste of him. And he made that buste. They didn't come back for that buste. And that buste was standing in his flat. But you know that during the Soviet Union,
Yeah.
He was forbidden. And the Esperanto was forbidden in our country. Everything was forbidden in the Soviet Union. You know, of course, the Rivas, he was one of the lovers of young Catherine the Great. Of course, he was not like that with that Of course not. But I think that it is very, very good made his soul, his mind. You see, he was a great aventuristic person of Europe, you know, and he was a very brave, very. Of course, he didn't dress like that, but the sense is very good. The Navy port. And then the trading port, real port was founded here. And you know that such corners near the sea, they're very, very alike with Marseille and with Genoa. Very alike. Italians like to walk here. That is the best. Because that was our second Governor Richelieu, who, when he came to Odessa, the population here was only 8,000 people. Without trees, without water, without building material. And he became the aventurier person. All our governors became the aventurists, in good sense. He wrote to Europe the manifest. On the map of Europe, a new Cité de Magnifique appeared, Magic City. I invite everybody to come here. I told you that Russia was a very severe slavery country. And he wrote, everyone should be free and equal here. That were the slogans of the French Revolution, from which he ran to Russia. And he wrote, I'll give the ground free of charge to everyone. He first in Russia, he opened here the only in Russia free of charge public library. And then they brought here the artifacts because around Odessa for 200 years a lot of excavations. Tomorrow we shall see such excavations there. You have not to go to Vatican. We have a brilliant copy from the Vatican collection. That was Morozov who made that copy for his dacha on the French Boulevard. But then he made the present to the city. Because the copy from that fontaine is in Louvre, and we have the original. That.
Another one.
So you can tell your friends that you are in Louvre. It's dark all over the world, 9,000 kilometers. And they told me, we understand, we have to buy the hat in Odessa. And you have to buy the hat in Odessa also. Yokohama, Alexandria.
Minsk in Belarus.
Genoa.
Where's Genoa?
Genoa, yes. Lodz. The time, very good. Do you hear that melody? That is Hymnal Odessa. From the Soviet operetta about Odessa, very famous, with very good music. White acacia. Because there's trees on the slopes. White acacia, that is the symbol of Odessa. It was the first tree that appeared in that desert. It was brought from San Francisco, from America. This is decided to put the monument to him. Officials were against. That's why on that monument we can read to Pushkin by the citizens of Odessa. All this is gathered money by copies. And money was enough only for the abuse. But that is the copy of the dead mask of Pushkin. And these fountains, you see that is the only city where two monuments to Pushkin. And these fountains, that was the present of the Jewish community of Odessa to the great Russian poet. Have you heard the Jewish people gather money to Pushkin? And in Odessa, they gather. More than 2,500 years old. And everything remained here, though that stone is very mild. And you know that all the architects of the world can't understand today. Never ancient Greeks settled near the sea in the sloping area. That is why no excavations here were. They occasionally so that. You see other excavations, they only in the Russian Empire.
Yeah.
Monument in ancient Rome style. You have not to go to Rome today. You see everything here. That is a very rich Rome feudal. You know, the free, the great lady was, I think. Once I was asked by one our modern lady, and what is favorite? I couldn't answer her. What is the favorite? And you know, there is Prince Potemkin, Count Zubov, her last favorite. The favorite of her youth, that is our Deribas. And the fourth figure, that is our favorite. That is our first architect, not Russian again, De Valin. That is that figure. And De Valin came from, he was the Dutch engineer. And you know that he's considered our first architect, but he wasn't architect. He was the fortification engineer, and he was sent here to make the plan of the port. So Odessa, where even today poor people live. And as a rule, on such balconies, they have no kitchens. I told you that when they had no water here, water was brought around the yards, and they bought it. It was very expensive, I told you. And when they made that water tube, the water tube tap out here in the middle of the road, no in the flats. During the Soviet period, water was brought to the flats. And the water tap was here, so they were, ladies were speaking here. And people may be playing also there. We believe so. Let's go to see how they are suffering there.
That's not possible. Oh, I see. Yeah.
This was the palace of Count Mikhail Vorontsov. You see there on the roof, you can see the Italian lights. Why? Because there you see there, you can see that pyramid. There under the glass was the winter tropical park. Under the glass, you see that glass. It was beautiful. And next time, I think you will cruising to Odessa. And very far in the sea, you will see that colonnade. And then you will see the facade of the city like theatrical decorations. I think that Odessa is the only port city in the world that was specially minded and built, minded how it should be opened from the sea. And such beautiful facade I haven't found anywhere. And you know, that is the Rome cell. It was brought to Odessa. In all the yards, they put such cells from Rome. You know that the first water tubes appeared in Europe, in Rome. And before that, they had such cells. They gathered raining water, like that, and they had a lot of fontaines. And today in Rome, 2,500 fontaines. And as they had no water here, they brought by ships such cells. That cell is 3,000 years old. And in all the yards, they had such cells with water. But you know that today, when our rich people, you know that they gained money a lot. We don't know from where. But they are without culture, without education, without taste. And there's a rule: when they buy the beautiful buildings and beautiful palaces, as a rule, they kicked out from that building, from that yard, all such beautiful things. Because they can't understand what is that.
Here's the Odessa seaport. Quite spectacular.
And I told you that our rich people kicked out from the yards old artifacts, and they gathered it here. You see such small bridges where such beautiful rotonde was on one of the daches, and that beautiful monument, and you see that fontaine, that tomb, you know, and such French statues were in all the yards I told you, in that arches. You know where? In Florence, on the Ponte Vecchio. And then it became very, very popular through all Europe. And they put the locks on the bridge, but it is very heavy. That's why we put here the installation and put here. And the locks you can seek there on the slopes. So all happiness is there. That sculpture became very, very famous in Odessa. That is the beginning of the 20th century. That became the emblem of Odessa because they said that all the economics of Russia was on the shoulder of Odessa. You see, that is Titanos, and on the shoulder not the world, but the sphere. You see, parallelepiped. You see all the masks, all the everything is here in that building. We call it the Biscuit Building. He was a very famous musician from Odessa. He was the founder of the Soviet jazz music. But you have to know that during the Soviet epoch, people who were playing and listening jazz music, they were arrested and even killed. So he was a very brave person, not only talented.
Это дворец Абазы. Ныне здесь находится Одесский музей западного и восточного искусства. Мы с вами поворачиваем на улицу Греческую, которую Юрий Олешевич читал проходной книгой, написал для ребенка. Так иногда бывает. Ну, мы с вами выезжаем на улицу Канатную, Кокотку. Там легкого поведения. Кроме того, Она глупа, жадна и изъясняется с кухаркой, она непрерывно с ней ругается, на ужасном одесском жаргоне. Две за городом. Представьте размеры тогдашней Одессы, если это пустырь за городом. Строят карантинную крепость. Куда в карантин на 14 суток направляются все приехавшие с Востока. Вспомним Пушкина, какие новые товары вступили нынче в карантин. Пришли бочки жданных вин, и что чума, и где пожары. В 1848 году возвращающийся из Иерусалима Николай Васильевич Гоголь угодил, так и думали. Моряки бросались в атаку, зажав в зубах ленточки. На трассе здоровья видеть можно только одно. С правой стороны кусты и с левой стороны кусты. Что ж, возобновим свой рассказ. Итак, Константин Пустов Черноморской, а затем перебирается на правую сторону, в Дворницкую, дома просверенного кино. Началась революция, гражданская война, деятельность кинофабрики была прекращена, но затем возобновилась. И странно оказался вполне хорошим. Так, и сделаем еще один перерыв и смотрим налево. Первый яхт-клуб, эти 3 яхт-клуба. Очень дорогие яхты находятся не здесь, а здесь, яхты для бедных, скажем так, но не для нас с вами. У нас на яхту не ходит. Ну, смотрите вниз. Вы, находясь в одежде, окунались, поднимались в карету, переодевались, и вторая лошадь заводила вас на берег. Чиночка, вот это. Но пришли новые хозяева. И теперь Аркадия это длинный, ну даже не очень длинный.
We got a 10-minute break before we head back. Might get a cold drink.
As a rule, in summer, here is like Babylon at night. You see, a lot of restaurants, a lot of nightclubs, a lot of night theaters here. And at 9 o'clock in the evening, a lot of girls on Labutens, they're walking here, and they're festives here, you see? And that is. And today we don't like that, Arcadia, because it is very hot here. No trees, no shadow. When these trees become great, you see, in that climate, they're growing very, very slowly.
It's like, this reminds me of Niagara Falls, all these shops and amusement
This popular
parks and
culture, you see.
Here's a shot of the Black Sea for you. It's very hazy on the horizon. That's not the camera playing up. I've got to get back on that electric tram thing. Hey kitty. Hey kitty. Another here, hello.
See, now we should open the lock here.
Yeah.
And
I've been recommended an Italian restaurant down here. And my hotel is up there. So I'm going to have dinner. Then I'm going to head back to the hotel. Thought I'd do something really crazy and have a Sprite for a change. And they brought out this little tray mat, and it's got this little guy on here. I have no idea who he is. Anyway, I think this is like a wine list or something. For dinner, I decided to have teriyaki chicken and rice, and with 2 bits of dark bread. I thought this was an Italian restaurant. Maybe I got the wrong one. But looks good, so I'm going to eat it anyway. I'm back at my hotel. Hope you all had a good time watching the video. There's plenty more to come.